Hello, everyone. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for joining today. Hello, Texas parents and players. Welcome to Paragon Pro Elite's virtual info session. My name is Gonzalo, and I am the pro leader of Paragon Pro Elite. First off, as I said earlier, thank you so much for taking the time to be here to join us tonight. Whether you're a parent, a player, a coach, tuning in today, this is for you. This session is going to give you insights into what Paragon Pro Elite has to offer and updates on everything that we got going on. Now, tonight, we officially will be launching our November camps. It will be happening across Texas. We will be having camps in each city: Dallas, San Antonio, Houston, Laredo, El Paso, and more. With that, for the players that are selected at these camps, they will be granted access to our Soccer Summit Champions that we will have in San Antonio, Texas, December 19, 20, and the 21st. Now, today, you will also get a quick look at our new Player Network Hub that we will have on our new website, ParagonProEliteSoccer.com, that is now live. And also, in regards to that, we will also have a QR code appearing here soon, in which you can also register now for those camps. Okay, it will appear soon. Besides that, we will also be providing you insights on all the developments, the collaborations, the partnerships that Paragon Pro Elite has been conducting all over the world. And once we finish, we will also be presenting John Michael Villarreal, one of our special guests who was born and raised in San Antonio and is now playing in Australia. We will also then bring in Brittany Lasik, who also played at St. Mary's University in San Antonio and is now currently in Australia playing elite soccer. Now, with all that being said, guys, thank you all for being here. What exactly is Paragon Pro Elite? For those of you who don't know or haven't heard of Paragon Pro Elite, I'm just going to give you a brief insight on what we do and how we plan to innovate the sporting industry. So it's very simple. Paragon Pro Elite, our goal is to connect athletes and parents with professionals. Now, with our platform, our goal is for them, for the players and parents to be able to connect with these professionals, either they're remote or local. So in this case, if we have athletes who are seeking support in the psychological side, they need a sports psychologist, and they don't have that access locally. We have those professionals remotely. If they need a technical professional in their position, if they're a striker and they need to perfect their kicking, well, we have professionals locally. If not, we have them remotely. All these professionals will be integrated into the player network and also in Paragon Pro Elite Soccer. Okay. Now, who am I and why am I leading Paragon Pro Elite? So my name is Gonzalo, as I said earlier. I am a former professional soccer player, a European sports psychologist, and also the leader of this team that we have. I was one of the founders of Paragon Pro Elite because we wanted to solve a problem. And that problem was from my upbringing as a soccer player. You see, when I was developing at the age 12, 13, 14, I didn't have a mentor. I did not have a guide that can lead me to the next level. I had to find experts from everywhere. I had to connect with people who probably weren't the best fit, and they led me to certain areas. And in this case, fortunately, I was able to go to a trial. I believe some of you have heard of this. It's Copa Alancia Fútbol, Copa Alancia Sueño de tu Vida, and I believe now it's called Alancia Fútbol. And in this case, I was given the option to go to one of these drafts, and that's where I was selected to begin my professional career in Mexico and Puebla. Because of that, everything else started leading towards a specific direction. Again, From then and there, I did not have a guide, a mentor, an agent to tell me what is the right process, what is the wrong process in this. So I had to do this all on my own. I had to figure out who the federation is. I have to figure out how can I sign a contract if I'm even developing in that certain position that I was playing. So because of all this, I had to develop a system. Right after I finished professional soccer in Mexico, I came back to St. Mary's University, where I graduated and met so many professionals. And since then, I met a mentor called Dr. Mario Sanchez, who is currently based in San Antonio, who was one of the leaders of Paragon Pro Elite, who told me to create something like this so that we can help those youth athletes to get to the next level. So Dr. Mario Sanchez was the reason I actually went to Spain and have been in Spain for the last 7 years, networking, partnering, and also playing at the elite level here. So this is why we created Paragon Pro Elite, because we want to provide our athletes, our parents, information that they might not find elsewhere. And also, our goal is to connect you all with the professionals that you have there locally, but it has to be integrated. The goal here is for you all to be able to work with professionals that are all in one system. So you don't have to go around like I did to find professionals in each area. So that is Paragon Pro Elite in a nutshell. Now, in this case, I would like to show you the platform, but before I do, I would ask Mateo if he can go ahead and add the QR code there you go. Okay, so the QR code is now up. If you would like to go ahead and sign up for our camps, this is where now I'll talk about our camps and what exactly they are. In this case, what we have in mind, 3 months ago in July, we conducted something called the Paragon Pro Elite Soccer Summit Champions in Houston. It was our first event in Texas, and it was free. However, we did have some add-ons if some of the athletes wanted to talk to our professionals, or if they wanted to get a scouting tips from them. That was completely on them to contract that with the professional as add-ons. But this was an event that was completely free, just so that we can see what is occurring in Texas, the development that we see from all the players that came from different areas, and just to compare them to our professionals that we work with here in Europe. So with the success of the Soccer Summit Champions in Houston, the team and I have decided that we would like to conduct a Winter Soccer Summit Champions in December 19, 20, 21 in San Antonio. We currently have 2 locations that are top-notch locations for soccer development. And as of right now, I will keep that a secret because we're still finalizing those last details. But these are 2 of the best facilities in San Antonio to perform soccer exercises, trainings, everything else. So what exactly do we do at these soccer summits? Our goal at these soccer summits is to provide information in nutrition, sports psychology, the technical, the tactical, the physical, all this inside the sport, all the information that an athlete can understand and develop and understand where they are from the global evaluation that we provide them. So this will be occurring in San Antonio. What are these camps for? Well, because we have a long wait list, so many players that want to be a part of the next soccer summit, we decided to conduct camps in each city. So in each city, we will have a 1-day camp that will be 2 to 4 hours long, just getting a global evaluation in the technical and the tactical side of the game. From there, we will decide from the top 5 players. This time, boys and girls will be able to attend the Soccer Summit Champions. So the 5 best boys at this camp will be selected to come to the Soccer Summit Champions. Also, the top 5 girls will be selected to come to the champions. Now, for the first place winner of each camp, we will provide them free access to the Soccer Summit Champions. Their hotel will be taken care of. Their food will be taken care of. Their transportation from the facility to the hotel and back and forth for those 3 days. That will be taken care of for the first place winner. Okay. Now, with that being said, I would like to show you all the updates that we have with Paragon Pro Elite Soccer platform. Everything that you do with Paragon, if it's the summits, if it's with the camps, if it's working with some of our professionals and the professionals that we have in our network, it is all integrated, and it will be integrated in the Player Network Hub. So I will share with you now our new home called Paragon Pro Elite Soccer. Perfect. Okay, here you go. So this is our new platform. As you can see, we have two buttons at the top, men and women. Right now, our boy soccer players, all soccer players are invited to come here. One moment. There you go. Okay. So all the soccer players that we have in our network, they're invited to come sign up right now to the Player Network Hub, which is also in beta. Here, you'll have your basic profile created. You'll have your basic profile created, and this is where you can conduct challenges with our challenges that we'll provide every month. We'll have a hub, a forum where you can communicate with all the players that were part of the summits, part of the camps. And this is very important because at the end of the day, once you start continuing this process towards becoming a professional or towards getting into the college areas, if you want to start deciding to go to college, you have to have a good network. So our goal is with each camp and each summit that we do and all the professionals that work with us, we will have them in this Player Network Hub so that you can keep contact with them from now and until you turn 18, 24, and until your career finishes. That's our goal for the Player Network Hub. So I'll show you just a bit of what the Player Network Hub is. So here we are at the Player Network Hub. You'll be able to see all the aspects that we provide, which is the monthly challenges, the announcements, all the events that will be coming up. And every player that is integrated into this Player Network Hub, they will have access to discounts that we will be providing for the events. Okay. So again, this is our beta and it will be available starting January 2026, right after the Soccer Summit Champions in San Antonio. Now, we have two Player Network Hubs, one for our boy soccer players and our men's soccer players, and then the other for our girls and women's soccer players. Right now, for our women's soccer players, until we complete our Soccer Summit Champions, we would like for them to click this button to get to the wait list so that they can enroll and be ready to subscribe to our Player Network Hub that we'll have available after the Soccer Summit Champions. Okay? Now, what is so special about this network? Something that differentiates us from everyone else. So what you'll see is something called tokens. Our goal is to not only have our players that are giving that they're performing hard work, training hard, and also conducting these challenges and not getting anything in return. Of course, they're developing, but what we want to do is we want to provide them tokens, which means every time they conduct an action in Paragon Pro Elite, they will be able to receive tokens. What are these tokens? Each token costs, one token equals $1. The more tokens you gather, the more you can use towards your European experience or towards a college scholarship to the university of your choice. This is only redeemable once the player turns 17. Now, if the athlete wants to go earlier to Europe, well, I have some good news as well, because we just partnered with a La Liga promotion second division team called Sede Cueta. This is one of our new partnerships in which they will give us access to our youth athletes, boys and girls, to go to Europe and train for 15 to 30 days and competing against some professional clubs in their category. Okay. So like I said, if you have all these tokens, you can use it towards a European experience or you can use it towards a college scholarship. Okay. Just to let you know, this is Sede Cueta, one of the soccer teams in Spain right now. and so forth. So that is something that we're calling tokens. And that is, like I said, everything is integrated in the Player Network Hub. We do offer subscription plans here as well. One subscription plan that I want to mention, okay, is very important because this is what I believe is revolutionizing the soccer industry. I call it the Starter Revolution Elite Major. Okay. This plan here is affordable for everyone. And I made it clear because me as an elite soccer player from an underserved community, I wasn't able to have access to I didn't have financial capability to be working with professionals, contracting agents. I didn't have all that. So what I tried with Paragon Pro Elite, what we're trying to do is conduct a subscription plan where it's affordable for everyone. It's called Starter Revolution Elite Major. Here, you can have your own player profile. What is a player profile? Well, I'll show you that right now. In your player profile, you can have elite data, and you can share this with scouts. You can share this with coaches. You can share this with universities and also clubs that you go to. This is important because we will have all the data that we have from your evaluations from the camps and summits and also working with us. We can store that in one simple location. So instead of you having to go to VO to find your videos, to send it to a professional, to send them a PDF via email, they can easily go to Paragon Pro Elite, your specific link, and they can access everything. They can see your videos that you have on YouTube. Everything is going to be available for those professionals to see. Now, what about security? Perfect. We have a password security where if you do not want nobody to see this, you can lock your link. If you want to send this privately, you can send this privately to the professional, but no one else can access. This is what we can integrate into our software and the software company that is working with us now. Okay. Now, with that being said, let me go back here and just show you a brief insight of what will be in your player profile. So I'll add this, and I'll also add, we can add this for now. So in your player profile, you will have data from what we gather from the evaluations that we receive in those summits and camps. Again, guys and girls, all this information is going to be received by our professionals. So if we bring in a strength and conditioning coach, a doctor in physiology, he's going to provide you, he's going to be able to evaluate you in your speed, your agility, your explosiveness, your stability. All those areas the professional will be able to verify, and he will be able to add it to your specific profile. Okay. So an example of one of our athletes that we currently have and their player profile, this is something we call the Pro Profile CV. Okay. This is something that we currently use here in Europe to share with our professionals on the athletes that work with us. Okay. This is just an example of one of the players, Leonardo, who is currently at one of the summits, who came from Mexico to come to Texas to be part of the summit in Houston. And this is just a basic insight on Leonardo's development, on his positioning, on his physical, his psychological, his technique, his shooting ability, since he is a striker, and also the performance analysis that we provide from our system in general. Okay, just showing you a bit. I don't want to give you too much information, but this will be part of your player profile once you create and once you subscribe. Okay, now with all that information, it might be a little hectic. I know it's the first time, but little by little, we'll be integrating more information, having more videos with just insights about the network, how you can connect with our professionals. And also, one thing I forgot to mention, which I'll show now, is our beta app, which is Find a Pro. Okay. Here, finding a pro, it's very simple. Some of you already work with the professionals that we have in Texas. if you already work with these professionals, you will receive tokens that you can add to your profile. Okay. So some of these professionals already in our network, and these are currently the ones that worked with us in the last Texas Summit. We still have 100 more and so many more on our wait list that we need to add. But here, if you already worked with some of these professionals in your area and you report back to Paragon Pro Elite, you will receive tokens. Okay. This is something important because this isn't going to change anything from you working with these professionals. It will make sure that you can continue working with them, okay? Because they understand what we're trying to do so that we can have the information they provide and we can integrate it into the evaluations we already have, okay? So you can start scrolling. You can see if you know any professionals that wants to be part of Paragon Pro Elite, go ahead, tell them to email us at admin@paragonproelite.com. Okay, this will all be on the YouTube chat soon. And I will remove that. So with all that being said, hopefully I didn't miss anything that I believe is revolutionizing the sporting industry. Now, I would like to show you and also let you meet some of the guest speakers that we have today. These guest speakers, as I said, they come from San Antonio. They played at St. Mary's University, and now they follow their dreams to go to Australia to continue their soccer career. Okay, so I'm going to bring in one of our guest speakers, John Michael Villarreal, who's currently in Australia. All right, give me a second. Let me bring you in. How you doing, John Michael? Can you hear me?
Hi, Gonzalo. How are you?
Perfect. How you doing?
Doing all right. It's a good summary of Paragon Pro Elite. Seems exciting. Good things coming.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Give me a second. All right. So JM, I actually just wanted to ask you a couple of questions. This is like a 60-second speed run type of questioning, okay? In this case, San Antonio to Australia. What opened the doors for you to do this?
Well, consistently playing. Obviously, at this time, you and I were playing together at St. Mary's. I always want to play, continue to get minutes under my belt, happen to just be a fill-in at a men's league game in the San Antonio area. I had met someone who was a scout, had contacts in Australia, gave me the opportunity to go over there and really perform. So I stayed in contact with him, gave him the opportunity, gave myself the opportunity to be, available. Once I graduated, signed a contract and continued on.
Perfect. Perfect. Yes, actually, one thing that you didn't mention is you were actually here in Spain. I believe you went to Australia and then you went to Spain and then you went back to Australia. What was it like in Spain?
Well, for me personally, Mexican heritage, speak Spanish, going to Spain was a bit of an easier transition. And the footballing level is very high there. So it really helped me focus in on what I want to do and what I came there to do, which was play football. I love the atmosphere. I love the professionalism of the clubs, of the players, the elite level. It was really something that I valued and grew a lot from as a professional player and as a human being. Actually made a lot of good connections. Was able to keep in contact with yourself and look towards the future.
Perfect. Yeah. Sounds good, JM. I have another question.
Sure.
Coaches and mentors, how did they help you change your level or increase your development?
Well, honestly, I found it quite difficult to find mentors. Like you said yourself, I think it was something that wasn't really prominent in our era, having been our age as we are now. And coaches, as any kid can attest, there's some coaches that you like and there's some coaches that you don't like. It's just finding ways to grow from all of them. I've had coaches that have taught me many things about the game that I still use to this day. And I've had coaches that have pushed me to the limit of, not really enjoying football anymore. So it's being able to overcome those challenges and grow that really inspire players to become the best version of themselves.
Yeah. And yeah, I think we had these conversations in the past about, finding pros, finding some mentors to guide us. I was fortunate enough, and I spoke to you about this. I actually presented to you Dr. Mario Sanchez because he was my mentor to go to Spain. But in this case, I remember us talking about this, that it's difficult to find some professionals that will lead you the right way. So
Indeed.
hopefully in Paragon Pro Elite, we are able to conduct that as a whole. Next question, John Michael. What should athletes focus on in this November camp and in this Soccer Summit Champions?
Yeah, I think with any showcase and any opportunity to present yourself as a player is just sticking to things that you as an individual do well in, right? Don't try to do the outlandish. Don't try to do what you think the coach wants you to do. Just perform to your best ability, to your strengths, right? This is a team sport. It's not an individual sport. As much as everybody wants to be Messi, nobody will be Messi. So being able to fit with a team, be a coachable player, and constantly improve your capabilities that make you unique, I think is very important. The coaches and the professional staff will be able to pick up on that. And if you are a coachable player, it makes you even more desirable to have a part of an organization and a program.
Perfect. Well, John Michael, don't want to take up more of your time, but last question, okay? Just a short message, a tip regarding something to increase confidence, consistency, and handling nerves for these young youth soccer players.
Yeah, two things that have worked really, really well for me are visualization. So before games, the night before, even moments before kickoff, just visualize yourself being successful, whether it's those first couple passes, whether it's a shot on goal that, leads to a goal, whether if you're a goalkeeper, it's a fingertip save, or a defender, a sliding challenge to prevent a goal. Any of those positive moments in a game, just constantly be visualizing them can really help you to keep a positive mentality and strong confidence. And then if you're feeling overwhelmed with emotions, with feelings of, doubt, focus on your breathing for a couple seconds, 30 seconds to a minute. Just take deep breaths. Those have always proven to work well for me. And I hope that the youth can take benefit from that as well.
Actually, one thing, John Michael, I wanted to say, because you also have a degree in sports psychology. So in this case, regarding the mental side of the game, do you think you learning more and researching more about psychology has helped you develop as a player?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Not just in the game itself, but just dealing with different personality types. The higher you go in professional football, the more cutthroat it becomes. And being able to navigate different personalities, whether it's coaches, players, even, members of board of the club is really, really important. Knowing when to stand your ground and knowing when to succumb to sort of someone who might know more than you is really important. So I think being acknowledging that and growing by constantly learning on and off the pitch is just paramount. It's very important.
Perfect. Well, JM, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you,
Hopefully
Gonzalo. Yeah.
some of these youth athletes and also parents just understanding a little bit more about what it takes for a soccer player. Because in this case, you decided to go overseas to continue your career. And that's something that I mentioned to a lot of parents. And, because at the end of the day, that's more opportunities. It's maybe not be, it might not be local that you go pro, but it might be, across the world. But how are you going to know that? How are you going to have someone to guide you there? So this is stuff that I always try to speak to parents about, because at the end of the day, that just opens more opportunities. So
Definitely.
JM, thank you so much for being here. Have a great day, and see you soon. Thank you.
Yep. Hope to see you soon.
Bye. All right. Thank you, John Michael Villarreal, for that. So I will also now bring in Brittany Lasik, who played at St. Mary's University as well. This is where I met her. She was the captain of the Rattlers. And also she was someone who also wanted to follow her dreams and decided to go to Australia to continue her elite soccer career. Brittany, here you go. Let me bring you in. How you doing, Brittany?
Yeah, not too bad, Gonzo. How about yourself?
Good. Just trying here. Give me 1 second. How you doing, Brittany?
no.
Well, look, in this case, I just want to also do, because I know you're very busy, I also just want to ask you a couple of questions, a speed run per se. So, Brittany, from San Antonio to Australia, How did this happen? What opened the door?
Yeah, well, first off, just want to say, thank you for setting this up and everything, and thank you for everyone for taking the time to be among something like this. I think it's something, as John Michael said, I wish was around when I was, at that age as well. So definitely very fascinating things going on with Paragon Pro Elite. So happy to be a part of this. But so basically, once I finished up college and everything, I decided to, follow my dreams to play football. And then I actually went over to England. I played over there for about 6 months and everything. And then I found a little bit difficulty finding like a visa that suited my needs. So I ended up actually getting a soccer agent, and then he had a lot of contacts down in Australia. So then, I got in contact with him, and then he helped place me on a team down here, and I've been here since 2019.
Great. Good to hear. To be honest, Brittany, I don't think I've ever talked to you about what happened, because the last time we spoke was in San Antonio. And right after that, the last thing I heard is you were playing overseas. So, but that's amazing. That's good to hear. Okay. So next question I wanted to ask you, Brittany, in this case, one thing that you would ask a 13-year-old to just take it serious in the soccer, in the soccer industry, in the soccer game.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things. It's definitely getting your mind right. It's understanding like this is a big goal, and a lot of hard work and dedication and discipline goes into tackling a dream like this. But it's definitely plausible, especially when you have that passion and the desire, really. So it's back yourself, and have that courage as well to dare to dream at the end of the day. Like, don't be afraid just because it is such a big dream doesn't mean it's not achievable either.
Yeah, no, I totally understand. Okay, next question, Brittany. With your experience, right, with trials and also, going to England, what are some, I guess in this case, what are the biggest mistakes that some athletes can make in these trials?
Yeah, one of the biggest mistakes is, as John Michael said, it's almost trying to do things that are outside your element. You want to obviously kind of like stick to your toolkit in a way, like play into your strengths. Don't try and, do the extreme, shots, passes, the once in a lifetime, movement type things. Like, stick to what you know, and then do those little things right. So the more you're consistent and like efficient with those things, that's what's going to be noticeable at the end of the day. And obviously as well, making sure you are like very coachable, like keeping that eye contact, working hard to, even if getting water, go on a little jog. Don't just, a slow walk or anything. Be like very adaptive, wanting to engage and learn as much as possible and just be a sponge.
Perfect. Actually, talking about that, I remember in the Soccer Summit Champions we had in Houston, I saw some of the kids walking, and from my experience and also playing in Mexico, I remember I had a coach who said, don't ever walk on the field.
Yeah.
Once you're on that field, you're either running, jogging, or slow jogging, but you don't ever walk for anything. Even if we're stopped, you're constantly moving. It's just a mindset. And I remember in the Soccer Summit Champions, I told some of the boys, I was like, hey guys, don't walk, but again, it's just I guess the development that I got, the mentality that I was raised with. Right. Okay, Brittany, next question. Okay. In this case, regarding the November camps and Soccer Summit Champions in San Antonio, what are some insights? What are some things that these girl soccer players should focus on?
Yeah, I think it kind of goes back to my last question that I answered. It's really just playing into your strengths, showing how committed and dedicated you are to growing and developing, not only as a player, but also as a person as well. It's being consistent, being dedicated, and just showing that like that passion. Show a little bit of your side of like who you are as a character. Do a little bit of flair and all that. But don't do anything too extreme or anything. Like, do what you know well and do it like correctly type thing, and you'll fly.
Perfect. Well, actually, you know what? You and John Michael actually said something similar, which is what I tell athletes as well. Like, I tell them, hey, look, when you're here, especially with what we do here at Paragon Pro Elite, our goal is to conduct evaluations, but we can't help you if you're doing some Ronaldo chops that you never do, some, I don't know, some skills that you never do. Like, that's not going to help you. What we want when you come here is to just perform as you normally do, because it's going to help us help you get to the next level. So you and John Michael are spot on, just play the way you play, train the way you train, and, we'll see what you have and we'll be able to help you. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're the winner of the Soccer Summit Champions or of the camps. At the end of the day, you're going to know that you're going to receive feedback on your performance so you can get to the next level. So last question, Brittany, because I know you are also very busy. In this case, a last tip to our girls soccer players and also our boys soccer players regarding, you know, some in the, I guess, mental side, just to be prepared, you know, and yeah, anything in general that you think it's important.
Yeah, I think like one of the biggest things that I learned right away is honestly dare to dream. I mean, don't be afraid of failure. Like I've had plenty of moments when have thought about giving up on this dream and that type of thing, but it's persevering through it all. It's learning to be resourceful and adaptable as you go. And the thing is, it's like if something like this means so much to you, like I said, you don't give up on it. You know, for me and like John Michael, like we've been able to travel the world, you know, through playing a sport, which is extraordinary. I'm made of lifelong friends, you know, and all the different experiences and everything. So to be able to have this type of platform to go into, I highly recommend everyone like jumping on board for it. Like I said, I wish this was around where I had a little bit more mentorship and guidance as well. But yeah, it's like I said, don't dare to dream at the end of the day. Yeah, go for it.
Dare to dream. Thank you, Captain Brittany. Okay, well, thank you so much for your time, Brittany. Have a great day, okay?
Thank you.
Thank
See you guys
Brittany.
later. Enjoy.
See you later. All right, everybody. Brittany is closing out. So we're already close to the final 15 minutes of this session. I just want to, you know, thank you all for still being tuned in, listening to some of our, you know, athletes that we have in Australia. Hopefully next time when we do another virtual info session on what's to come, we'll have some other professionals in Europe, you know, some that are currently playing in Spain, England. But again, this is just, I wanted to bring you these two guests because not only did I play with, you know, play or was part of their, you know, the university that they went to, but they were from San Antonio, right? So they were there in San Antonio. They're living the San Antonio culture life, and now they're in Australia. So anything is doable as long as you're, you know, you're confident, you have a work ethic, you know, and you're guided to conduct each action to get to the next level. So thank you for my professionals that just came in. Have a great day for those. And we will finish off with just some basic Q&A questions. In this case, I'm not sure if there's any questions there, but I do have some from Instagram from some of the players and parents. I'll read some. And again, just before I do read those final questions, actually they might be answered by what I'm going to say here. So in regards to the soccer camps, so how much are the soccer camps? Okay, so each camp, what we're doing is we're going to charge $99.99 for entrance to each camp. However, because you're here today, you are going to receive a promo code. If Mateo can put it up there, a promo code that you can add to your camp so that you can get $20 off on the camps, okay? Now, what do you receive once you sign up for this camp? Once you sign up for the camp, not only do you receive this technical and training evaluation, but you're also going to receive our gear at the camp. You're going to receive 1 month free access to our Starter Revolution a software plan that we have. And also you're going to have a pro player profile created where you can find all your data and you can keep adding information. You can keep adding information the more that you continue to grow and develop. Okay, so that's one of the questions that I had. So there you go. Again, this is the promo code, so you can scan the QR code there to be part of the camps. Next question. It was here. Let me just see if someone said something here. Okay, promo code. Perfect. Thank you, Mateo, for putting that. Okay, so next question here. It's summits. What professionals will be here at the Soccer Summit Champions this time in San Antonio? Okay, so in our Houston Soccer Summit Champions, we were blessed with having some professionals, UEFA Pro coaches that were, I consider them the next Guardiolas, okay? One of our professionals called Ismael Arroyo, who is currently training a third division national pro team here in Spain. because of him, we got invited from the Mexico national team once they were here to play USA for the Copa de Oro. Because of him, we got invited to go meet the Mexico national team and just converse with some of them there, especially Joseba, who is a goalie coach of the Mexico national team. It's just crazy. But in this case, that was one of our professionals. We also have Gustavo Perez Filippi, who travels around the world. He's one of our biggest scouts, and he is the reason that we are now partnered with Cueta CD, who is the La Liga promotion team. So thank you to Gustavo Perez. So to getting for us having that access to that European experience club in Spain. And also we had Dr. Mario Sanchez, who is currently in San Antonio, Texas. We're hoping that he will join this next soccer summit that will be in San Antonio, his area. But again, Dr. Mario Sanchez is now traveling to Spain, so we'll see from there. And also other professionals, some professionals that came from El Paso, that is called Chucho FC. We had some professionals from Bat City, that is from Austin, and other local Houston professionals such as Angel, David Perez, just so many professionals that came together for this free Soccer Summit Champions that we provided to our Houston kids. They decided to do this because they believe in the bigger vision that we have. So again, I've already told them multiple times, thank you for being there at the Houston Soccer Summit Champions, but I'll say it again because of them, it was doable. We were able to conduct a champions there. So this time at the San Antonio Soccer Summit Champions, we will have some professionals that are going to be coming from Spain. We will also have some elite women professional coaches that will be helping us with our youth elite soccer girls that will be here. And one, I guess I don't want to say names just yet, but we will have a soccer player that played with Real Madrid, okay, who played in the past with Real Madrid and also is coaching or has coached the youth academy in Real Madrid. So there's just so much happening. And this is why I wanted to conduct it this year, the Soccer Summit Champions Texas. So I'll move on to a next question. In this case, I'm pumped. Okay. How many days is the Soccer Summit Champions? So the Soccer Summit Champions are for 3 days. Okay. So it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. All right. It's going to depend because we're going to have boys and girls. Our goal is to have 75 boys and 75 girls at the Soccer Summit Champions. Of course, we're going to split up each group. Some might be in the morning. The boys will be in the morning, and sometimes the girls will be at night and vice versa. Okay. But in this case, it will be 3 days. So times will be adjusted once we verify our final facilities. I'll just answer 2 more questions since the time's already running up. Next one. Give me a second. Let me see here if there's any on the chat. If not, let me check Instagram. Okay. All right. Well, I guess I'll answer this question here. What are some tips for soccer players that want to go overseas? So hopefully our professionals answered some of these questions about going overseas. Sometimes, I want to say this, sometimes it's not, overseas isn't the answer, okay? I know some of you don't know my story. You know, I'll probably be adding my whole story to YouTube, but I think if I would have stayed in US and continued my journey, playing in the USL and going, keep increasing the ranks, I could have probably played a lot longer in professional than going to Mexico the first time. So in this case, going overseas, I guess overseas means Europe, right? I think that's what you're meaning. But in my mind, it's just leaving your state, leaving your country to go to another location to play, right? In this case, but what is it like overseas? Well, it's not easy. I'll tell you that much. And some of our professionals here, they can say it. You're on your own. You're literally on your own, even with a team, with us. What we try to do, we try to make sure that our professionals or our youth athletes that go to Europe are well accompanied, right? Like they know where they're going, where they're supposed to be. But at the end of the day, you're still alone, the friends that you had in your current clubs and your, for example, Houston and Rise Academy, the reason I say that club is because we have a lot of our Houston kids from that academy, you have all these friendships, but once you start making that move to the next level, you start seeing that this is you with yourself, so you have to develop that strong mindset, that, hey, this is a new culture. This is something new for me. Also, something important is language. For example, I speak a lot to my athletes who don't know anything about Spanish, yet they come to Spain. What do you think the coaches are going to be like? You think they're going to take it easy on you, especially when they're trying to coach at an elite level? They're not going to stop and talk to you privately and say, hey, this is what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? Also, in regards to that, the players that are local here, you go to Europe, okay? The level is just, it's on another level. It's high. So it's going to be hard for a coach to sit down and treat you special, right? Because, of course, as a player, you are sometimes the best player of your team. So you have that special treatment. In Europe, if you're coming from US, most likely you're not the best player. So you have to figure out, you have to help yourself. You got to prepare yourself. You have to learn the language, understand what is going on. You might not understand the tactical side of the game because they're doing something else there, but you can compete. Okay. Use your strengths to your advantage. I was a defender. Okay. Sorry, I'm looking at the time. I know we got 4 minutes, but this is something that I'm passionate about. I was a defender. And when I came to Europe, when I came to Spain, the technical side wasn't my best, but also the tactical side of the game going forward, they were on another level compared to me. But what I had was I was defensively solid. I was very well structured defensively. So not only when you go to Europe or when you go abroad or to any team, you got to figure out what team you're going to. Because if you go to an offensive team or if the coach has a specific tactical side of a game that you don't understand or you don't play, it's not going to help you. So the better it is for you to join a team that helps and complements your strengths. For me, in Europe, I've been with, I don't know how many teams, but I've been with most teams that are defensive teams because that's what I play. We play low blocks. We play defensive structures where I'm able to be at my best. So whenever I play with these offensive teams, that's where you started seeing me in my peak performance. You started seeing the weaknesses, the errors, the issues that I needed to work on. So I guess that's just a simple insight to that. I'm just going to go ahead because I think I have some more questions here, but I'm going to go ahead and finish it there. I just want to say thank you to everyone who has joined in. This will be on our YouTube channel. I know we just started off our YouTube channel, but this is where we'll start integrating all the videos from the athletes that join our challenges, from the spotlights. One thing that we want to implement in the Player Network Hub is if we see a goal that is just astonishing, or if we see a defensive movement or our goalies that block something that's out of this world, we want to add it to our Player Network Hub, and we want to add it to our YouTube and also to our social. So again, guys, go ahead to join the Player Network Hub. And for our girls who don't know much about us yet, there is so much that you're going to learn here at Paragon Pro Elite. So everybody, thank you for this night. Thank you for being with us here. Have a great day. And thank you for joining Paragon Pro Elite's Info Session Night. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you.